Okay, so we have two 1903s here. This one, of course, on the right is one I've already done. That glob is right there over the serial number. We just don't expose those online. All right, you can see the condition of this one. It's not horrible. It's fairly lightly pitted, but it's been around a while. It's been around the block a bit. But I wanted to show you something on the originals that always interesting is they heat treat the magazines to where you can tell that they're two-tone. So if you get one that's on a Colt and it's two-tone like that, then you know you've got an original Colt magazine because they always heat treated those lips. Now on this particular Colt, I've taken the liberty of taking the grip off of the grip screw is out. But if you, I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but you'll see there's a big crack down that grip. You can see it much better on this other side. And we're going to try to repair these the best we can and to epoxy the escutcheon in, which is the little roundy piece right there. Anyway, you can see the condition under the grip. It's got a little rust. It's been just neglected more than it has anything. But again, this is probably the second variation. This is on these Colts, they had several variations, and this is one of the later ones. And on these variations, this is showing this one was probably made in the 30s. And so with that, we will start the process of making it look beautiful. Okay, so we've got a problem with this right grip panel. As you can tell probably from the close-up, you can see that there's a crack going right through the escutcheon, and on the back side you can really see it pop really well here. Now I try to always use original if I can. So what we're going to try to do is we're going to degrease everything in this crack. I'm going to be very, very careful with it. And we're going to glass bed the escutcheon back in correctly the way it's supposed to be. And we're going to use West Systems epoxy, which is very, very strong but very flexible. And I think that'll kind of keep it in place, and it should give it a longevity. But it is sometimes a risk. Sometimes they hold, sometimes they don't. But the point is to use good quality stuff to begin with, and your chances are always improved. Time for disassembly now. We're going to remove the magazine, and we're going to start field stripping this beautiful thing. And you say, well, it's not very beautiful, but it will be. Okay, so we've blasted this pistol. Now, Colt pistols on this particular model are important in a couple of areas. As you can see here, these are the finger grooves, the serrations. Now, if I flip the gun over, you'll see that here I've taken the time with a three-corner file to sharpen up the serrations. These are done in a nice manner. I'm not trying to dig them out. I'm not trying to do anything except clean it up to make the serrations sharp. They'll pop once it's blued. Also, too, when you're doing one of these Colt pistols, you always want to polish the slide and the frame together right here. I have seen more of these screwed up because somebody decided that it was a good idea to polish them separate. These are fitted and they're polished together. So with that, we'll continue.
Very nice.
Okay, this is the rough draft here. These are little finger grooves here. They're kind of a pecker to get in. I use a Dremel with a fiber wheel on there, and it really does get in there nicely. These I do on the belt sander. This had a lot of pits in it. I'm fixing to go over here to the vise. I'll chuck this up, and we'll do the flats and do the top lengthwise. Okay, so at this point here, what we're going to do is we don't want this to be anything other than flat. We're checking to see what tips we've got to remove. But again, a flat needs to be flat, a round needs to be round, and a transition has to be a transition. So what you're always looking for is to make sure that your flats are indeed flat. This is a nice edge right here, and it's got pits all in it. We're going to cock the file a little bit, keep it clean, and we're going to start with our pit removal. As you can see, they'll come right out. But you can certainly screw up a really nice pistol in a really big hurry if you don't know what you're doing. But you can see the pits are coming right out. I'm not going to bore you with doing them all. Just want to show you how quick you can get them out with a good file and knowledge. Okay, we got the slide pretty much done. There might be just ever so slight brightening left on it, but it really came out nice. All the pits are gone. Look, the lettering's still there. And most importantly, the horsey. Yay, Mr. Rampant Colt is still there because I worked my butt off. He did have some pits under him. I might have lost a little bit of 1 foot. Okay, now we're on to the frame. And the frame is in the raw right now where I put it on the belt sander. Again, flats are flat, rounds are round, and we'll progress along with this, but these rounds will be done on a bob, and they'll be going in this direction. The flats will continue this way. Serial number still looks good. And we will show you what the end result is here in a few minutes. We'll get this frame finished. We're at the stage now where it was just the final brightening. All the scratches are out. It just needs to be brightened up. I use Scotch-Brite just like you'd get at Home Depot. Stuff works great. It just blends everything so nicely. And with this one here, I'll just do it by hand real quick just to show you, to give you an idea of what we're going to get with it. Now, these things were not originally buffed to a Colt Python blue. They were just not. They were even. They were a little bit on the satiny side. So you don't want to just sit there and just hit them 555 and brighten them to the super duper glow. Okay, that's not what it's about. But if you look at that right there, that's kind of about the finish that they should have. That's a good, solid, even finish. But that's kind of where we're going to be with the whole thing. This is Scotch right there. The sides are left a little bit more satin than the curves. And this is it. We will show you the pistol as we're bluing it. Alright, we're just cooling it down after the bath. Okay, it's been in the boiling water for a little bit. We want to get all the salts off of it, which it doesn't really hold a lot of salts because it's all apart completely, but we still don't want any salts coming through. Okay, so what we're doing here, we've taken it out of the bath. Now, on a 1903, they are not what they call a 555 finish. They are not super duper bright. They're nice, even, but they are not a really blingy bright finish. They're not meant to be. Go to the frame, show you how that's going to look. Again, it's a nice even finish. The polish on it is Again, not a super high duper Browning type high gloss finish. It's more of a nice even satin. That's what you're looking for. But it's done well. That's the most important thing. That's done well. It takes a little cure time once you glue. You can put this in. Once you glue, it's good to give it 24 hours after you glue before you start to assemble and before you start to move it around and jostle it. It gives it a little cure time. And so all these parts go in and get dunked in the oil. This barrel, these are originally bright around the muzzle, and of course we want to brighten the hood, so that'll be done. Everything else is kind of done. All right, so here we are. We have both of these pistols are now finished. This is the one I just finished. As you can tell, the finish is very flat. It's very beautiful. It's not washed out with a wheel. I see that all the time where people ruin them by using the wheel and undercut it and don't keep things flat. This one over here on the left is almost about the same age. Both of these are approximately 100 years old, and I think they came out very, very nice. Again, this one had a busted grip. I repaired it. It was shattered in 2 or 3 places. For this video, it could be replaced. It does show a small crack. Other than that, pretty much the pistol is flawless in my view. You did not want to go with a real blingy 555 super bright Weatherby style finish when you're doing one of these, because they were not originally done that way. But the pistol really came out nice. The horsey is still, get a close up on the horsey. Mr. Rampant Colt is still there. He's slightly lighter, but 99% of him is still there, and I took extra pains with that. And now what we're going to do is, neither of these pistols have been shot, and we're going to have Mr. Will go out here in a minute, and he's going to do dueling 1903s.